Hey, everybody, school's in session, and you're listening to the Yellowhammer Football Podcast here on the Loaded Sports Network. I am the Colonel, he is Catfish, and let's talk a little high school football. What's going on, buddy?
It's a good Labor Day, that's for sure. A
Yeah,
rainy one.
yeah, that's for sure. Well, guys, let's go ahead and talk about week 3. Uh, we'll start it off here. Phillips, Bear Creek, going over Shoals Christian, 41-6.
Yeah, we kind of figured this score would be this way just because the way Phillips started out beating Thorpetown last week, and Thorpetown had beat Shows Christian, so we figured, I mean, it would
Right.
be Phillips'
Yeah.
game. Yeah, so and 41-6 on the road, you couldn't ask for anything better for Adam Lawler and the Bears, and they got it done.
Yeah, that is for sure. And then we had Marion County going against Brilliant, winning 62-0. Uh,
I believe we said that they would win by 60. I,
Yeah, I think that's what we said. So
yeah, I know Ty Madison, quarterback from Marion County, had a pretty good game though, and I mean, it's like we said, brilliant. It's rebuilding year, so that's part
yeah,
of the process for sure.
yeah, that you got to just play your heart out. That's all you can do. Then we had Winfield going against Gordo, coming up in the losing effort, 42-49 in a high scoring close game.
Yeah, we said Winfield was going to be. I believe we said about 8-2, 9-1 on the
Yeah,
season, and the fact that they started out like they did at 2-0. We knew this would be a hard game. We said it. We talked about it, and for them to score 42 points on Gordo, an opponent like Gordo is great. They did give up 49, and they did get the loss. But I would like, for me, if I was Coach McKinney, that would be an all right outcome. At least you scored 42 points on the road.
right. I mean, a 7 point difference. You can't complain much about this.
Yeah,
Clearly Gordo was the better team, but they gave it their all
yeah,
for sure. Then we had Corner going up against Hamilton, 52-14. Corner winning this one.
yeah. It's been a hard start of the season for Hamilton. I mean, uh, it's not looking promising. Uh, you just you kind of hope they figure it out. We went ahead and went with them because they're a team we cover in the region, and I talked about Corner how they were having a pretty good season, and them beating Hamilton like they did right here it looks like it's going to be a special year for Corner and a
Yeah, for
tough
sure.
Hamilton.
Uh, yeah, and that like you said, we picked Hamilton just because we cover them in this region, and maybe it's a rebuilding year for Hamilton.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we had Lexington going to Red Bay and coming out with a win, 40-14.
Yeah, you know, after seeing Hamilton get beat like they just did by Corner, the Red Bay win over Hamilton it's not looking so good now, especially
Yeah,
after the Lexington loss right there. I mean, Lexington's been a pretty solid program over the years, and Red Bay had them at home, and they just didn't. It just wasn't their night.
yeah, that is for sure. Then we had Tanner going to Tharptown, coming out with a win, 63-0.
Mm, it's it.
I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, it's, especially at home. 60
Yeah,
to lose 63 to lose at home scoring no points is a problem. To lose at home getting beat by 63 and scoring no points is just a disaster. So you don't know how they're going to uh, come back from this. It being the third game of the season for them. It's difficult to lose this far along in the season like that and have a playoff year.
yeah, that's true. And I mean, that's a hard loss. I mean, Tharptown started out with that win,
Yeah, we
and we thought there might have been a
Uh,
miracle season, I
yeah.
guess, to say. But Tanner's a good team, 63 to
Mhm.
nothing. I mean, you got to be good to score 63. It sounds like so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it just shows how bad Shows Christian is this year for sure.
Yeah. Then we had Elkmont going to Phil Campbell and coming up with a loss, 20-58. Bobcats are 3-0.
Oh my God. Say it again. Say it one more time.
Yeah, Bobcats are 3-0.
Man,
The town is a buzzing. I will promise you that. I have heard people talk about this football team, and they're so excited. They're a little worried about the game coming up next,
yeah.
but they are excited.
I mean, I'm happy for them. That's all I got to say. It's a dang good year in Phil Kimball for sports after the baseball team, and then start out 3-0. I don't think anybody could have thought that possible unless you just had a lot of faith in the team and seen how hard they were working in the off season. I'm sure to be 3-0, you got to work pretty hard in the off season. You got to have that uh, teamwork mentality, a lot of camaraderie, just day in, day out. It don't matter if it's in the classroom, on the field, or just at each other's houses. When you build great, uh, when you build a good team like atmosphere to where everybody's input is wanted, you get outcomes like this. And they're playing good football from the seniors, the juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, and everybody's included. And it's a beautiful thing when it's like this.
Oh, for sure. And like I said, the town is a buzzing. We actually had our Loaded Sports Network, one of our co-hosts on our other shows. He was actually at the game, and he wrote a little summary of it. He's a sort of our sideline reporter. We will post his little writings on our Facebook page. Uh, Again, just a little bit too long to read on the show, but we'll get it out there, and y'all can read Wayne's sideline report and see what y'all think of that. So,
Yeah, yeah. Good old Batman.
yep. Yeah. Had Lawrence County going to Russellville, coming up with a loss, 0-49. Russellville with a big win.
Nah, we were hoping this would be the outcome, and you know, I didn't I didn't know much about Lawrence County coming into last week. To be honest with you, I hadn't been studying them as much since we're not covering them. But I knew Russellville had struggled in the first 2 weeks to put points on the board, and well, I mean, not so much the first week, but the second week definitely. For them to get 49 points right here, third week, you expect that this has turned the season around, and I look forward to seeing what they do the next few weeks.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you got to think, that this is going to be a motivator for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
and they know who they are now,
Yes.
and we're going to see going forward for sure.
Hmm.
Then we had Addison going to Cherokee, winning 72 to nothing.
I don't believe Cherokee scored a point yet. I mean, I know each of their opponents have scored over 60 points, and I doubt they've scored a touchdown yet. And it's
Yeah,
sad. It's sad.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is, it
Yeah.
is, and like I said, the guy, the players play hard. It's nothing
Hmm.
against the players.
Yeah.
It just is what it is,
It's,
guys.
it's it's not their year.
Yeah, it's just not your year.
Yeah.
And Addison's a fantastic team. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad to see them putting up that many points in the ball game on the road. It's
right.
it's it's great.
Oh, yeah. Then we had Meek going to Waterloo, coming out with a win, 38-12. Again, Meek has been our team, I guess. We've
Yeah.
been talking about him every week. You know,
I
so
I definitely can't wait to see them in person. But the fact that they went to Waterloo, which is a long trip from there, it's probably about 2.5 hours, and to go that far and come out with a win and do it in double digit fashion, and it's great. Uh, I think they're gonna have a little harder time this next week, but I do believe Houston Powell's got that team playing better than anybody right now in 1A. And they're actually there last week. The Booster Club had posted that they had made it into the top 10 in the rankings for state of Alabama.
yeah, for sure. I mean, they deserve to be there.
Yes, for
You know,
sure.
we have bragged on them every week. It seems like,
Hmm.
and it's well deserved
It's
for sure.
well deserved.
Then we had Alabama Christian going up against Lynn, coming out of with a win, 64-26.
I was here for this one.
Yeah,
It was, you know, I I had heard somewhere that Alabama Christian may be a 4A, but leading up to the game, I was told they were 3A. I s- I'd looked online and they were 3A, but somewhere somebody had said 4A, so we may be wrong on that 3A. But I will say when they stepped off the bus, man, they've got a kid going to Kentucky that's committed to Kentucky, and they've got a kid committed to Alabama, and both of them shined. And their quarterback's 6'4", about 200 pounds, and he could sling a ball. He had 2 or 3 touchdowns over 60 yards. So, but
right.
it was just a different animal for land to tackle, and going from playing somebody in 1A to playing a private school like this, it's a hard ask. Uh, I applaud them for scheduling it. You don't get many teams scheduling opponents like this, especially in 1A. And it was. I I also will applaud the Lambert's fight in the second half. I mean, they had some pretty promising drives in the first half. They just had a couple turnovers, but when it got to the second half, they were competing a little bit better. And at one point, it was 56-26. It's still 30 points, but they didn't. Alabama Christian didn't get that last touchdown until late fourth quarter.
Okay. Well, man, you were there. You saw it.
Yeah,
So, gotta hope that Lynn can build off of this,
yeah,
and try to focus on the good. You
yeah,
know. Then we had Winston County going to Carbon Hill, coming out with a win, 38-14.
yeah. This surprised me, but it only surprised me in the way that uh, Winston County has got to be daggum something to watch this year. At already they're 3-0. Uh, I wouldn't have picked that. It's like kind of like Phil Campbell.
Yeah,
It's two teams like Winston County and Phil Campbell being undefeated right here. It's going to be a great year when you get that happening.
for
And
sure.
I mean, Curry got a win, so that tells you, that lets you know
Yeah,
it's been a
yeah,
pretty good year so far. For Carbon Hill, it hasn't. They got started a week later than everybody else. They're 0-2 now. Uh, um, this is one of my teams that I thought would be pretty successful this year with what they had coming back, and I still have high hopes for them. But I just got to see what they do the next few weeks to see if they've changed something and figured out what's going on.
yeah. Like I said, there's still plenty of the season left. Got plenty of time to work on things for sure. Then we had midfield going against Oakman. Again, I don't think I fixed the name on this one either, like I did
I
last
dig it,
week.
man. I dig it.
Anyway, midfield 12-35. Oakman coming out with a win.
Yeah, like I said, midfield's one of them teams that can go to state championship and then have 4 pretty unsuccessful seasons. And they're a Birmingham team. They're in the Birmingham metropolitan area. They've always had some studs. It's just they've not been able to put it all together in consecutive years. So Oatman being able to beat them like they did, and uh, kind of you kind of hope they kickstart their season after a win like this, especially doing it in front of the home fans.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then we had Curry going against Dora. Curry lost 8-47.
Well, we was kind of hoping that Curry would continue the winning streak for a minute. Uh,
Right. Yeah.
at one point in the ball game, they were up 8-7, but Dora scored 40 unanswered, so
Yeah.
that kind of changed the ball game. But it was more of a second half effort. Chavis Williams was kind of uh, he was kind of a little iffy on the first half, but he said the second half they really surprised him, and he was proud of their effort.
Yeah. I mean, that's good for Dora. Big win.
Oh yeah,
Maybe Curry can bounce back.
yeah.
Then we had Jasper going up against Ramsey. Jasper on the losing end, 6-54. And I know you had said last week the quarterback is out,
Mhm.
and
I mean, it's
probably a big reason for the loss.
yeah. Ramsey is ranked in the top 10, but it's a hard opponent. Again, they're a Birmingham metropolitan team, and they've always had pretty successful years, and they've had a lot of players go to Power Five conferences. Uh, right here, Jasper had Fox 6 sideline there the first week of the season. They really didn't advertise the fact that they were playing Ramsey at Legion Field. And you would think that used to be where the state championships were hosted. Before that, it was the Crampton Bowl, Montgomery, and then now it's at UAB, and then Bryant Denny and Jordan Hare. But you would think they would have advertised the fact Jasper was playing in uh, Birmingham at the Legion Field. The old gray lady, you would think that would have been advertised more, but I would have hated been a fan that went to this game for sure, because that's just a
Yeah,
hard way to lose. And we talk about the quarterback being out, but they've got bigger problems than that, giving up 54 points, and
yeah,
it's hard to watch, especially living in Jasper. You got more pride in that, and it's something's going to have to be changed, and let's hope they can do it.
right. I agree. Then we had our game of the week. We had Cordova going against Haleville in a close game. Cordova coming up on the losing end, 41-45.
This was a great game to see, because at one point, late actually, Cordova held the lead by two touchdowns, and Halo actually had to get an onside kick to win this ball game. So
Wow.
yeah, you talk about we picked the right game for the game of the week. I believe
Yep,
you
we
picked it
sure did.
actually. Yeah, but yeah, Coach Tim Simon, he lives by me. He coaches at Cordova. He's running back coach and a safety coach. He also was Mr. Football at Cordova and played at Ole Miss. But he he was proud of his guys. He hated to see it come down to like this, because I mean Cordova's been beat twice on last minute drive.
Right.
I don't know if this was last minute, but I know it was pretty close to the end of the ball game. So to be beat like that twice at the start of the season is a hard pill to swallow, because if you got them wins, you're 3-0 or 4-0, not 3-0. If you got them wins, you're 3-0, and you're looking at a probably being the number one seed in the playoffs.
Right. A hard loss, but a good win for Haleville. I'm sure that's going to lift their spirits.
It was the first region game for both opponents, and for Haleville to get the win, they were 0-2 and then got the first region win.
Right. Yep,
So I
exactly.
mean,
We got some pictures here. I think this is actually from the Dora game. I think I can't tell. I can't remember. Wayne sent these pictures in. He had a buddy that sent them to him. I cannot remember the man's name, so I do apologize. We will get that for next week. But you can
yeah,
see here
I
some
believe it's the
shots.
Addison game in it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yes, yeah,
Yep,
Addison. Yeah,
yep.
but yeah, that's pretty good shots right there.
Yeah, some really good shots. And these are the ones you sent in.
Oh yeah, so Coach Hastings on the left right there, Lynn Bear's
Yeah.
head coach. And I mean, you could see them boys from ACA. They are built. They look like college team getting off the bus.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's the Phil Campbell. Or is that Phil Campbell?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Phil Campbell and Elkmont on that side, on the right
yeah,
side, for those watching. And we encourage you to watch. Again, you can check us out on YouTube or Spotify for the video show.
yeah.
And here's two more shots of the Phil Campbell Elkmont game.
Oh yeah.
And I do have some video we're going to play, but we're going to take a short little commercial break first, and we'll come back and play a little video. Hey, everybody, it's Coach and Colonel here from the Spring Loaded Football Podcast, taking a short break from your podcast. We wanted to tell you about Spring Loaded Football, where each and every Friday we talk about Spring League sports, USFL, XFL, X League, fan control football, guys. We got it all. Coach, what you got to say?
Hey, y'all check us out. Like it, love it, and everything. We talk about a lot of stuff on here. We try to keep it quick and simple, and we talk about everything. Even some things like kickers.
That's right. Check
Quick
it out,
granted, man.
springloadedfootball.com. Now back to the show. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. You just enjoyed a nice commercial from the Lotus Sports Network. Again, you're here at the Yellowhammer Football Podcast, and we promised you some video before we went to commercial, so here it is. We'll actually take a look at it. There will not be any sound, just for quality of video and stuff, but we'll play this video. And again, which game was this? Was this the Alabama Christian and Lynn?
Yeah, Lynn. Yeah, they had a boy that had scored 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, it's him. Scored consecutive times actually when he got it.
Yeah.
And this is Cole Kelly going off the left side for Lynn. This is number 21, I believe, scored again. Or 25. Or 45. Yeah, 45. And then this is Kel Tittle hitting Jaden Tittle.
That's a pretty catch.
Yeah, it was.
And then we actually got a video. Wayne, again, we talked about it, the Lotus Sports Network co-host. This is one of his son playing Pee Wee football. So we're gonna play this one. It's always fun watching the kids play.
They're sometimes more entertaining. I mean, it's just fun to watch. Yeah. Always, some of the funny videos are just the flatbacks and Pee Wee football.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The ear hose.
For sure. But guys, let's go ahead and jump into week 4. We're gonna look ahead to next week. Got Phillips, which is Bear Creek, against Cherokee. I think we can safe to say Phillips probably got this one.
Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and this is not who's going to win it. It's going to be, is it by 60 or 70 for Phillips?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm calling 60.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Got Holy Spirit going against Marion County.
Yeah.
Don't know what to think about this one,
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear much out of Holy Spirit from where we are, but I know Coach Mark Cochran, that's Carbon Hill head coach. He coached at Holy Spirit before he got to Carbon Hill, but I would say Marion County has this one for sure. They've been on the road since the Lynn game.
Yeah, let's go with Marion County. Then we got Hamilton coming up against Oak Grove. I don't know anything about Oak Grove, but the way Hamilton, the season they've had so far, I mean, it's probably going to be a challenge.
Yes. It don't matter which route you take. Oak Grove, them being at 4A, they always pair them up here with these Northwest teams, and it's just such a long drive. And they got a pretty good environment down there. It's always loud. You always have pretty competitive games. I've won some games down there, and I've lost some games down there. So it's been a mixed bag. And with Hamilton starting out the way they are, I don't believe they're gonna be able to keep up with Oak Grove in this one.
Right. Yeah, I think the same thing. We got Shows Christian going against Vina.
I'm gonna go out on
man.
Yeah. I mean, we should go with Vina since they're in our region, one of our regions. So I'll go with Vina on this one, but Shows Christian stands a pretty good chance.
Yeah, Vina in a close one,
Yeah, it may be 6 to 76, something like that. But, yeah.
Exactly. Got Red Bay going to Sheffield.
Yeah,
they're out of our little area that we cover, but can Red Bay bounce back from their loss?
It's gonna be tough. Sheffield's always got some boys there that are pretty talented. So you kind of hope Red Bay, that last week loss was just something that was just a lack of effort thing or something like that, not just talent. So you kind of hope they can rebound right here, and coaches run them hard this week, and they do their job this coming week against Sheffield.
Yeah, let's go with Red Bay. Just take a chance. It's, a surprise victory.
Yeah.
We got Tharp Town going against Hatton.
Yeah, Hatton's kind of the way as Thorntown. They're both out in the middle of BFE, but
Yep, for sure.
Thorntown's, started off big win against Shows Christian and then losing consecutive weeks. It's hard to find a win here and there when you're uh, on the losing end. So I'm gonna go with Thorntown. I got Thorntown.
Yeah. Let's go with Thorptown. Then we got Phil Campbell playing against Colbert County. Again, the word on the street in Phil Campbell is this is a game they're concerned about. You know.
When I was up in Florence, I had a couple kids that was going up through Toy Bowl and everything, but they play at Colbert County now, and they're pretty good football players. I expect to see them at one of Alabama's universities or a university close by, maybe Tennessee or something. They've got that much talent, so it's gonna be a hard ass for Phil Campbell. They're 3-0. We want the best for them. It's your hometown team, so
oh yeah.
I want to go with them. I'm gonna roll with them. It's gonna be a hard ball game. They're gonna have to come ready to play, especially on the road. So it's really
like you were saying, it's a road game, but they're 3-0. Let's roll on to 4-0, guys. Yeah,
it's a really tell. This will really say we're
for sure.
We're serious.
Then
about this season.
We got Russellville going to West Point.
West Point was in 4A with us in Oak Grove and all that when I was going through school for the first half, and then they got switched to 5A. And they're Coleman County, right down the road from Coleman and Hayden, with 65 running through it, and all these individual highways. They've been growing a lot lately, and they've got a lot of talent there, and they're tough. They're a tough opponent to play. I don't know what it is about them Coleman County boys, but we were a bunch of tough cornbread fed boys, and you would think when you look at West Point, they are, but they're a bunch of city boys that are tough. I mean, they're tough to beat, and it's going to be a hard ass for Russellville. But coming off the win against Lawrence County, I got the best, nothing but the best hopes for them.
Yeah, like you said, that's kind of a little bit of a drive too from Russellville down that way.
Mm-hmm.
Playing on the road, they've got the momentum from the win of this week.
Yeah,
hopefully they can carry it on to this.
That'll be 24 all the way to 65.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Got Winston County playing against Sulligent.
Yeah. Winston County 3-0. Again, it's surprising, but you kind of wonder what they got this year. I mean, Winston County being 3-0, that's serious.
For sure.
Sulligent, who did Sulligent play the first week where they got the W?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I want to say it may have been Oatman or something, but it's going to be a hard opponent to face on the road. Sulligent's always a pretty successful program, so Winston County's going to have to come to play. It's a long drive for them, so we'll see if they come out with a W.
Yeah, I mean 3-0, maybe they can carry the momentum.
Yeah.
You got Dora coming up to play Haleville.
Yeah, this is going to be a ball game to be at for sure. Both of them getting the first region wins, and for Haleville, if they can start out 2-0 in the region, it will be huge. I mean, you're looking at it, you're 1-2 right now, but the two other games does not matter in the playoff outlook. What matters is your region record. So if they can keep this rolling, it would be huge to get this second win right here in the region. You got them at home, you got them where you want them, but Dora had a game against Curry, so you don't know who's got the upper hand here. We'll just have to find out.
It's gonna be a tough opponent for Haleville. Maybe they can pull it out, especially at home. They'll have a little bit of extra pep in their step with the fans and stuff there. So,
I know Herman Bubba Scott Stadium.
Got Fayette County playing Carbon Hill.
Fayette got Cordova on the last drive, so they're coming back to Walker County for their third game, and Carbon Hill started out 0-2. So you kind of wonder, you really kind of wonder how this one's going to go, and you want the best for Carbon Hill, but I'm gonna go with Carbon Hill, no doubt.
Yeah, Carbon Hill in a close one,
Yeah.
I think.
They're the
You got-
home team.
Right. You got Oakman going against Tarrant.
So going off what we just seen Tarrant do, this last week, I don't know if I told you the score, but like they were in 4A with us with West Point and all that, and somewhere down the line they started losing all of their students. And last year, I want to say they were only shooting 13 guys just right before the season. So their programs went downhill a lot the past few years. So, and they're still struggling. So I'm gonna go with Oakman in this one.
Yep, I think you're right. Based off what you just said, I think Oakman's got this one. Got Corner coming up to play Cordova.
Yeah. Who you got in this one?
It's gonna be tough. Let's go Cordova. You know why? Why not? You know,
I'm definitely going to go with Cordova. You know, Corner beating Hamilton like that, you kind of wonder, but I'm definitely going to lean with Cordova. It being at home.
Yep. You got North Side playing against Curry.
This is one of them programs, another one of them programs. They have pretty successful years, and they have years where they're not so great. And they're a Tuscaloosa County program. They produce a lot of talent, but they really don't seem to have state championship winning programs or years. But them going to Curry getting blasted like they did against Dora. You kind of hope they get back to what they did against Berry,
Right.
come out and perform. And it being at home, you look for a closer game. And if it's close, I want it to be Curry on the winning side.
Right. If it's a close game, let's go with Curry. But it's probably going to be a tough ask, I think.
Yeah.
Then we got Jasper coming up against Fairfield. Again, you know, Jasper not having the best season, you know.
No,
so
they're not. And I want to say they get Spencer back. You know, I said it had been multiple games, and I didn't know how long the suspension was, and I still don't know what it was about. I know it had to be something. There was something he said, but Fairfield is one of them programs, another program in the Birmingham Metroplex, and they have a pretty good team. They've got a lot of talent. A lot of talent's going places. A couple's going Power 5, and it's going to be it's a hard environment to play in. There was a couple games shot up here last year, so you definitely got to be a little careful if you're a Jasper fan traveling to this one. But I want to go with Jasper. I want to see him do it.
Yeah, I want to see him do it too. You know, I think they can. I think they've got the talent. I think it's possible.
I dig the Fairfield helmet you got right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But guys, we're going to take another short little commercial break, and we'll be right back with the games of the week.
It's hot. Back to y'all guys at the Yellowhammer station.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Yellowhammer Football Podcast here on the Lotus Sports Network. I am the Colonel, he is Catfish, and this is our games of the week. And we are going to be talking about Hackleburg against Addison.
Yeah, it's Addison beating Cherokee, wasn't it? 72-0 last week.
Yeah.
You kind of figure they're going to be on a high. Hackleburg, is one of them teams that has always been a pretty good program, and
Yeah.
it's there's still some question marks about them this year. So I believe I'm gonna go with Addison.
Yeah, I think Addison's got this one, but I do believe it'll be a good game. I
Sorry,
do.
Coach.
Yeah. Next game is Lynn playing against Summerton Christian.
Yeah, this should be a lot of people's game of the week. It's just not just ours. I mean, talk about the first region game, and outside of what ACA did to Lynn, Lynn is pretty competitive, and they'll be extremely competitive in their region and in 1A football. And I have them as a playoff team. I believe they'll go to at least the second or third round, if not more, just depending on what happens. But Summerton Christian, same way. They got David Powell. I believe these two coaches are the most winningest coaches that we got, that we cover. And David Powell had a lot of success at Hueytown, and he's been nothing short of phenomenal here at Summerton Christian. So it's going to be a great ball game. And you really don't know. I really can't call who will win this one, but I'm going to lean with Lynn since I've seen them a couple times.
Yeah, let's go with Lynn. I mean, like you said, their opponent this past week, notwithstanding, they're a playoff team,
Yeah.
for sure. But, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But it seems like that's going to be a really good game as well. So.
Yes, I agree.
Well, Catfish, you got anything else to say?
Just if y'all ain't got anything to do on Friday nights, go out to one of these games. Just any one of them is a good game to watch. I promise you. I've been to pretty much all the venues and watched all these teams play. Not in this year, but previous years. So Northwest Alabama has some of the best football. That's what we're trying. That's why we're covering it. We want to put it on a platform so all these kids will get to show their buddies and their girlfriends, and all these coaches will have a resume builder. And we just ask you for you to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on every platform. We'll try to get a little bit more out than we've been getting, and just have a good week. Happy Labor Day.
That's right, guys. Happy Labor Day. It's when we're recording. But, guys, you can check out our podcast on YouTube or Spotify for the video show, anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. And, guys, we hope that we're a part of that group. Like I said, just like and share. Tell your friends. Let your friends tell their friends. And, like, look down there. That's where all the stuff is. That's where we're at. But, guys, I'm the Colonel. He's Catfish, and you've just listened to the Yellowhammer Football Podcast, and we'll see you next time, guys.